Hello everyone! Welcome to our latest developer story. Today we have a special treat for all of you open source enthusiasts out there. We're joined by a developer from an exciting world of openEuler, a Linux distribution that's making waves in the open source community. This developer will be sharing his insights and experiences with us, giving us a glimpse into what makes openEuler so special. So sit back, grab a drink, and get ready to learn more about one of the most innovative projects in the Linux world. Okay, let's begin our interview. My first question is, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little about your involvement with openEuler?
Okay, hello viewers. My name is Zhenyu Zheng, and I have been involved in open source for over 8 years. Initially, my journey began with OpenStack, the open source cloud computing project. Before I moved to other application layer projects such as Hadoop and more lower level applications as QEMU and libvirt. And in 2020, shortly after openEuler was open sourced, I began to work on it. And initially, I was a regular contributor to openEuler, like fixing bugs and packing packages. And after a few months, I have been elected as the maintainer of the DB and the Big Data SIG. And at the same time, I began to assist with running local events. So now I also serve as an advocate for the openEuler community. And I am also very passionate about helping to educate and motivate young individuals to join the open source movement and change the world with their contributions.
Wow, that's very nice. And what made you decide to participate in this open source project?
Well, as I mentioned, I have been working on many other open source projects before I work on the openEuler. So when I work on projects like OpenStack and Hadoop, I occasionally run into performance or other issues. As a result, we found out that we need to look beyond the project itself and work on some OS level things like the libraries and drivers and other things like that to get the best performance. And it's especially important when we have different type of hardware architectures like ARM64 and x86 or even RISC-V in the same cluster, as they each require different type of optimizations for the OS. And don't forget to consider that we now always have all kinds of accelerators like GPUs and DPUs in the cluster. So when you're making the decision, you have always to consider all of them. And after openEuler become an open source project, I have tried it out and found out that it worked really well for our mixed architecture cluster. That's why I was inspired to join the openEuler community and try to contribute to the development of the project. I'm excited to see how far we can take this new OS and what kind of project it can help us to create.
Okay, so since you have used quite a lot of this project, in your opinion, what sets openEuler apart from many other Linux distributions?
Well, as you know, there are quite many Linux distributions over the market, and each have their own pros and cons. I decided to go with openEuler because it is very well suited for the mixed architecture cluster, as well as offering a wide selection of the application software. This is particularly fitting our current needs. For example, we have an aging cluster with all of them are x86 servers. But currently we are now adding ARM64 servers to the cluster. And openEuler is able to provide excellent support for the combined cluster, and it creates a reliable environment for our big data services. And this is ideal for our current needs. So that's why we choose openEuler.
Okay, So, in your opinion, what do you see the current state of this project, and what about the future of openEuler?
Well, openEuler have just recently celebrated its third birthday, and I'm absolutely blown away by the massive number of contributors. It's over 12,000. And this demonstrates that openEuler is an incredibly attractive and rapidly growing community. I'm sure that in the upcoming years, openEuler community will create and launch a variety of creative projects that can benefit both users and developers from all over the world.
There are many regular users in the market today. So what benefits do you think the regular users can get from using openEuler?
As I have said in the previous response, openEuler first is quite reliable, and they have a lot of innovation projects that could be very useful for various use cases. For example, we have a project called Rubik, which let us dynamically reschedule cloud-native workloads to make the most use of our available resources. This is very useful for many of the users, I think. And there are also many OSVs in the community who have created various distributions based on openEuler, including for cloud computing, for servers, and for embedded computing, and many more. So since they have all used the same upstream sources, if you have a mixed type of hardware in your cluster, this may save you a lot of time and money. And openEuler is also a great platform for application developers and DevOps engineers, since it is both user-friendly and secure. With its open source components and its ability to integrate with cloud services, it makes it easy to launch production-ready applications quickly and easily. Moreover, the community is very active and helpful. Many developers like myself will help to resolve any issue that may arise. Therefore, with the right skill set and knowledge, enterprise can easily deploy their applications based on openEuler and get the most of their resources.
Okay, so my last question, do you have any suggestions for newcomers or people who want to try openEuler for the first time?
Oh, sure. My first advice is to just do it. There are many ways that you can try it. You can try it from the public clouds or container images, or even on your laptop. Since we have many OSVs in the community, they have created many beautiful desktop versions. And as I mentioned, we have also embedded versions, so you can try it also on your Raspberry Pi. And I also recommend you can go to the openEuler homepage, where there are a lot of information about the community, the projects, the developers behind the projects, and also many user stories. I think you can always find your suitable information for you.
Yeah, I believe they will be very useful for newcomers in this community. Okay, so again, thank you for taking the time to answer my questions today. And it's always exciting to hear directly from developers who are working to make open source software better for everyone. And there you have it, folks, a fascinating look into the world of openEuler and the developers who make it all happen. We hope you all learned something new and gained a deeper appreciation for this amazing project. We'll be back soon with more developer stories, and be sure to tune in. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.